Yo, good morning, everyone. What's up? Yo, good morning, everyone. What's up? God, rookie mistake. Oh my god. Jeez. It's like the first time I've streamed. It's just early. What's up, guys? Zarkin, how you doing? Fury Curie, how you doing? What's up? Sup, sup, sup. Sup, 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 sup. Give me one more second here, and I'll go ahead and. Yeah, nobody heard that, right? No, I don't have coffee right now. I'm gonna do this whole stream at friggin' 6 a.m. with no coffee. I'm trying to trying to be like Paul. Not really, but I'm trying to channel some of his energy. Okay. I think we're ready. That and that and that. Alright. Yes, we are ready. What's up, everybody? So this is the dude I'm working on. If you guys have not been around, you can have some energy. Sweet. Yeah, send that over, Fury. That'd be awesome. If you haven't been around for any of this progress, let me show you here. See on what I am working on. It's in here somewhere. Here we go. So this is a concept from Adrian Wilkins in conjunction with Tim Lochner and Andrejs Skuja. They did some awesome concepts for Horizon Zero Dawn. So I was like, you know what? What better way to practice on AAA pipeline than to work from an art director, art approved concept. So that's what I'm doing. So I really dug this guy. I think that he's got a good balance of crazy details with not so crazy amounts of details. Yeah, so this is the dude. This is the dude. The dude. So that's the guy I'm working on. Cool. And this is what I got so far. Yo, Jacob, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? So this is pretty much where I'm at now. Is the end of major blockout and secondary form exploring. Now I started getting into blocking in some of the tertiary details. So I started with some fancy leather work. So what I really want to do is right now it's going to be a fine balance between what's going to be in the details of the actual material in Substance Painter and what I'm going to include in the sculpt. So fortunately and unfortunately, the way that the PBR next gen pipeline is right now, a lot of the detail ends up being in the actual substance or in the actual material, right, and not necessarily baked into the sculpt. Thanks, Perry. Appreciate it, man. So what I'm doing is kind of trying to play a little bit of both sides of that fence, where I want to sculpt in kind of like the characterized details, where it's not just kind of like a all over details. It's more of like, okay, I want there to be like compression folds in these areas, that kind of stuff. So that's why some of this is a little bit more blank. Blank areas I'm going to go ahead and fill in with the actual material data when I get to Substance Painter. So the pipeline for this guy, right now it's just blocking with ZBrush. So that's the big reason why I'm working on this guy on the Pixelogic stream. I'm going to be taking this dude all the way to final in-game asset. So the pipeline would be ZBrush blockout and high-res sculpt. From there, I'm going to break them down and take them into Modo and do retopo and UVing in Modo. I'll do all of my baking in Marmoset Toolbag 3, and then we'll take all of that over to Substance Painter, do all of the texturing there, and then we'll take it back to Marmoset 3 for final renders. So that's the plan for this guy. Once I get finished with the high-res sculpt, I will be doing the remainder of it on my own personal channel, so if you guys want to follow me there, please feel more than welcome. The link, I think, is at the bottom of the page, over, right like there. Right there. Right there. Alright, so what I'm doing then is, today, we're going to do this type of this same treatment to this piece. So I'm going to show you guys how I went about creating all of this detail, this fun, super juicy detail. Again, we're going to just do kind of the stylized stuff, so, or not stylized, but the characterized, I guess you could say. I don't know what the right term for it is, but it's the details where it's not just overall details. So I'm thinking about like how and where is this thing worn, right? Like where are some of the characteristic fold lines and you know, pressure lines and that kind of stuff. So I definitely will be doing a lot of that through the wrist area. I don't think, you know, maybe there'll be some in here for like when he's like really bringing his arm like all the way up, might get a little bit scrunched up. Other than that, I don't think there will be a lot of like pressure anywhere else. Maybe a couple through here, but then we'll leave a lot of it for substance. So I did the first pass on this one over here before, and honestly I feel like it's a little bit too much, so I may go back and pull some of that back out. We'll see. And then so we'll get that done, and then we'll start doing probably the same treatment on this main piece here as well, or maybe we'll do the boots. I'm not sure. But anyways, all right, let's get to work. How's everybody else doing out there? Having a good time? All right. So I want to kind of get my secondary forms into place first. So we're sitting up at 4. So I'm just going to start pushing some of these pieces around just to make sure that we are all good on the secondary forms. Before I go in and block out all those nice, awesome, juicy details, I want to make sure that my overall forms are correct first. Okay, I don't know if this would be so big. So big. Yeah. You guys are definitely more than welcome to ask questions as we go, or just hang out. It's all good either way. We accept all types, activists and lurkers alike. Curiosities. If this is your first time hanging out with me here on ZBrush, and you're new to ZBrush, don't be too intimidated by my UI setup. I have kind of a special setup, I guess you could say. Hectic, I don't know, all of those things. What's your favorite brush? Orbs Crack, Damn Standard, /3 for lines. Top most used. The top ones that I use, I think you can see. No, you can't see it because of the overlay. But I use and I switch really quickly between about 4 or 5, well, 4 brushes, maybe 3. You can always see what I'm working on specifically up here. So I use clay buildup a lot. Probably most of my stuff is through clay buildup. No, I'm using it Intuos. I use Move Topological a lot, H Polish, and Damp Standard. Those are my main ones. But when I go through, sometimes I'll use slash 3. I use that for these pieces, and sometimes if I'm doing more mechanical stuff, I'll use Orbs Crack or Ma Cut Brush. Just kind of depends on the piece that I'm working on at the moment. Yeah, absolutely, no problem, man. No problem at all. Anyways, yeah, my interface, my interface, your face. Basically, what I do is I just take out all the stuff that I use in the tool palette and throw it out here. It's just much easier for me to just kind of grab stuff and move it out to the main UI. Just helps me get to things faster, but it also helps me remember some of the things that I want to use, right? I'm like, oh yeah, crap, I don't have perspective on. Or do I have a morph target stored? Yes or no. Do I have UVs? Yes or no, you know? Use Marmoset Bakes fully in Substance. Wait, do you use Marmoset Bakes fully in Substance? Notice with my recent project curvature. Sometimes what I'll do, Jacob, is I'll just I'll do my initial maps from Marmoset Toolbag, and then if I don't, just for curiosity, if I'm going to be relying really heavily on like a curvature map, especially for like hard surface stuff, then I'll go ahead and just create another one in Substance, and then just look at them, you know, see which one feels better, see which one does that, and then I'll just use that one. So it's good to have options, right? Yes, so this is a 1080 monitor. Yeah, baking is really awesome in Marmoset. Mostly because I don't do bake down very often anymore, which is what ZBrush does. I always use the bake to method, so let me go grab some files real quick. I'm gonna just grab a couple alphas. Okay, I think those are the ones. Yes. Okay, so I'm also going to be using layers for these details. It makes things a lot easier. So you can see in this one, I used a lot of layer details. So like I sculpted in large wrinkles, I sculpted in the seams. So fixed the seams, did like the underlying wrinkles. Here's the pattern. I use morph out layers, so I'll use morph targets and actually pull out some of the details. So like that was what it looked like after I threw down a lot of the alpha maps, and then I just morphed out some of them, and then of course I did the sculpt, and then we do a little bit more morph out and seam adjustment stuff. So it's really easy to kind of work non-destructively that way. So I'm pretty much going to be doing the same thing. Yeah. So then let's fix the seams first. Alright, so we'll go up to the highest subdiv. Let's do seams. Yeah, I think the thing that really got me with the marmoset baking is the real-time bake preview on your mesh. Like, what? That's awesome. Okay, let's go grab, I think it was /3. So let's go brushes, I think it was /2 actually. Pretty sure it was /2. Alright, so then let's just turn everything else off for now. So now that we know where we're at in the project, we can actually kind of just come in. Yes, that's the one. Let's turn that off. So basically what I want to do is I just want to kind of really bolster some of these initial blockouts. So what before I actually do that, I'm going to go into smooth, and I'm going to go grab my smooth peaks. No, smooth valleys is what I want to do. Yes, that's fine. Let's see. I don't want RGB. Let's turn the intensity down. I really just kind of want to get rid of some of the little jagged edges, but I don't really want to get rid of the ridge lines. Another thing I think I could do is probably go in and do clay polish. Let's see if that'll work. No, not really. Let's just do it by hand real quick. So just a nice light touch. We'll go through and start just kind of cleaning up some of those jagged ears. Right. So by just doing the valleys, it leaves just at least enough of an outline for those major ridges that I can come back with that slash brush and just pull out real quick. So Jacob, are you doing it, and is anybody else doing the ArtStation challenge? There's some really friggin' awesome concepts that were submitted in round 1. I wish I had the time. I would jump on that in a heartbeat. Fortunately, I don't right at the moment, so I'll have to just watch people be badasses. Alright, so just kind of cleaning up some of these little more jagged areas. I'm using the alternate smooth, which is holding down shift, starting, and then like pulling up. What that does is it will work on just smoothing out the normals relative to what's around them or in your brush stroke. And it helps keep the overall shape instead of, right, so like if I'm just doing regular smooth, you see how like everything kind of like squished together, right? If I do the alternate smooth, so if I hold down shift, if I put my pen down and then I let go of shift, you'll see that it actually works where it tries to even out the normals with keeping the form as well. So that's what I'm doing. Too noob? Nah, man. I think that's a good, a common misconception with a lot of these competitions is that, like, I don't know. I think I talk to a lot of people and they're like, "Oh, I'm not that good enough. There's no way I would win." You know, it's really I mean, it is a competition, so prizes are awesome, and they're there to kind of entice people to jump in. But really, it's about like the overall experience and being there with a community of people of like-mindedness, working on a common common goal. You know, yeah, and it's such a great experience. You know, even if because there's a lot of non-winners. But we're all winners, man. Um, but yeah, just being there and kind of like being around and going through the similar situations with like-minded people, it's a great experience. Great, you're right, you're great. What's up, Ingo and Goo? Yes, you are right, Darkin. All right, so now what I'm gonna do is on my seams layer. And I'm just going to go through and start picking out some of these. Yeah, there's a couple of different types of quote unquote layers. There are subtools, which are like all these different crazy amounts of subtools that I have. Um, like lots and lots, 71 to be exact. But then on each one of them, you can have an actual stack of layers that you can kind of turn on and off. You can do, sculpt different things on, all kinds of crazy stuff. So, yes. They're like ogres. Alright, I always want to step back too and see if this is reading. And that's pretty good. Like, I just want to have, like, the initial. Alright, where you can see just a little bit of this. You're like, okay, it's kind of got the same thing as this and as these. I'm okay with that. May want to just pull a couple more. Like maybe I can actually pull these guys. Make a couple of them stand out a little bit more than the others. Right. Always good idea to roll back and just kind of check, see how things are doing. Right. So we can kind of get the idea that okay, there's more of that stuff going on there. Maybe we can just pull a couple more here. I also want to kind of keep in mind the sides. I want to play it smart, right? So like, where are most of the places where you're going to see this, right? You're probably not going to see this in here too much. Yeah, you may. But this side here, you'll definitely see a lot, right? So I'll make sure that this is super good. Well, it all should be super good, technically, but I'll pay attention to that a lot more. So I'm not really worried about this stuff, like this stuff kind of coming off the edge, because I'm just going to morph that out. Because this is all on a layer, I could just easily go, boop. Oops. So I'll show you. Actually show you what I mean. Let me save this real quick. So let's let that save for a second. Grab a drink of water. Shoot, I feel like my fundamentals still need work. I don't know if you'll ever really feel that your fundamentals are fully flushed out. We'll put darken. Okay. So let's do this. So what I'm going to do is, if you guys never used morph targets before, basically what morph target does is, by storing a morph target, what it says is I'm going to remember where all of these vertices are at this point. So it basically saves them all in this point, right? So if I turn this back on, some of those points have moved. So now what I can do is I can go and use the morph brush, which is BMO for morph, right there. And then I can come back in and say, well, let's turn this on record. I want you guys to go back to where you were. What? Is this magic? Right? Oh, I want you guys to go back to where you were. Alright, so I can come back in and just brush out some of those areas where I want them to go back to the point where I stored the morph target. What? Yeah, morph target's awesome. And that's another reason why I have it out here, because it always reminds me that I have it. Yeah. And what's awesome is that this change that it just did, it's being recorded in the seams layer. Alright? So even if I go and do another morph target, it's fine, because it remembers the changes that happen in this layer. Yeah, what's up, Core Gazer? How you doing, man? Yeah, dude, you just missed the big speech. Alright, let's go back and grab our /2 brush. And then let's kind of... We're already a half hour in, so let's do this a little bit quicker. Actually, we don't have to do all of this right now. We can come back and do the rest a little bit later, but I wanted to just show you guys how I've gone about it. So let's do the front of this side down here. Do I want to do that way, or do I want to do this way? Let's do this way. So what I want to do is I want to also be aware of the light source, right? So where's the light source mostly coming from? Probably above him, right? This is the type of dude that's probably going to be outside a lot, not indoor, playing video games and that kind of stuff. So, where do I want the light to hit? So is it going to be dark like this, or is it going to be catching light? That kind of thing, So those are just some of the things that I think about on which way I want to create these pieces. Alright, so we'll just kind of try to block this in a little bit quicker. So the reason why I did this initial pass is that it kind of gives me something to work from when I'm trying to block out these details. I don't have to stick with them, but it kind of gives me a nice place to start from, and that was the reason, the original reason why I did it that way. Alright, that's reading okay. You know what, let's just finish that up real quick while we're at it. And because they're layers, I can come back and work on them later, or pull some of the details out. Layers can definitely be annoying at sometimes if you are doing like really weird things with them, but for the most part they're pretty stable. I probably wouldn't do color like poly paint stuff and sculpting stuff on the same subtool in layers. It tends to get a little bit kind of weird, and I've had some crashes doing it that way. So what I tend to do is I'll use poly paint on a completely different system than this, or method, however you want to call it. So I usually just stick to sculpting. Yeah, it's you know, a lot of those little things kind of like just add up and really help things pop. And the thing that I look at is actually the shadow values, right? So like what I'm looking at here is the darkness value of this area versus these shadows, right? So that's really quickly telling me that you know, like I feel good because there's a big difference between the values of these shadows versus the highlight here, right? So it gives a lot more depth to it. When I'm going through and I'm seeing this where there's not a whole lot of shadow value, right? I just want to like kind of make those pop even more, right? So I try to pay attention to the actual shadow values, because it's sometimes it's tough to get your lighting just right, you know, to see those values. But if you pay attention in the right areas, it becomes really quick and easy, right? So I'm looking at these shadow values and saying, yeah, those are some pretty good depths, right? You can see that these are much darker. And those are the things that I specifically pay attention to when I'm trying to get a read on forms, right? You see how this is kind of like all uniform? Do I want it uniform? Well, maybe we'll throw a couple of deeper ones in here. You know, maybe we'll take this guy. Yeah, maybe we'll take this dude and this dude. You know, kind of make those pop just a little bit more. Cool. Was this entire model done in ZBrush? Yes, except for the pants. The pants I blocked out really quickly in Marvelous Designer, and then brought them in here and sculpted on them. Everything else was done in in ZBrush. I did start from a body scan, so I went to 3dscanstore.com and just pulled a body to start from. I've done enough bodies and enough anatomy. I feel comfortable doing all of that. I don't need to learn that. can always learn more. But for timing's sake, I feel like it's totally fine to go and start from a scan. A lot of AAA companies will actually have you start from a base mesh that already has UV set up and all that. So honestly, I think showing that you can work from scans is actually more beneficial than it is harmful to you as an artist. A lot of places are actually working a lot more from scans. I've had plenty of interviews where I've been asked if I've worked with scan data. And a lot of times I've had to say no. But at Sony, where I'm working at now, we do a lot of scan data stuff, and it's actually it's good. It's a really, really good experience. So I would actually heavily suggest, if you're doing something, realistic, start from a scan. No shame. Ain't no shame. Okay, so let's go back to my morph target. So I just still stored that one, which is fine. So I'm going to go back to BMO, which is my morph brush, and we'll just pull back some of these pieces real quick. Yeah, they do have some really, really awesome stuff, and they actually have sales a lot of times. So I would keep an eye out to get on their newsletter or something. I picked up a bunch of stuff when, I think the whole store was 50% off one time. I was like, yeah. I gotta go ahead and get this and this and this. It was like a damn shopping spree. I felt like I had my cart and everything. It was awesome. You get all the toys, 50% off. Exactly. But I picked up some base mesh, some body base meshes. I picked up some head base meshes, male and female. There's stuff that I can keep in my my tool chest that'll help me get to these results faster, right? Let's turn color eyes off. Okay, so I feel like that's good. Could do a little bit more on the inside, but I'll wait until later. Okay, so I think what we can do now is we can start laying out the base leather. So usually I don't use standard brush very much anymore. So whenever I'm doing, I probably just use it for poly painting and alphas, because I don't mind kind of messing up, what the stroke is and what the alpha is and all that fun stuff. So I have a couple of alphas that I picked up from Surface Mimic, Bag Orange Leather, and Bag Orange Leather. So I'm going to use that one. We'll pick it up on Drag Rec, and then let's create a new layer. We'll call this pattern. We'll just call it pattern. Okay. So now what specifically I'm thinking about where these stress lines would be, right? So obviously that's way too much. We'll throw this down to 10. So you'll probably have a lot of these stress marks kind of coming through the wrist area. So I'm just going to kind of freely block in some of these pieces here. Yeah, I think any chance you get to work on anatomy anatomy practices or base shapes and kind of your fundamentals is good. A lot of times when you start getting really busy in your career or freelance or something, you don't really have a lot of time to do that anymore. So, all right, so I don't want to do too much here. Probably just want to do enough, and then I can go in and basically what I'm trying to do is I'm going to go in and really punch up a lot of this stuff with actually sculpt. So this right now is really just kind of getting me some ideas, kind of like the way that I did the seams. So just kind of getting me started. Don't get me started. Ugh! Early days for me, so you might as well make the most quality practice. Absolutely, absolutely. For anatomy, I don't know if you guys are familiar with him or not, but Scott Eaton has some really, really awesome ZBrush stuff, as well as just overall anatomy awesomeness. So here's the thing you run into a lot. Is like I'll throw down some information. I'm like, oh, fudge, forgot to set my morph target. It's okay. I've got layers, so I could just turn this one off, right? And then we'll delete the previous one and store a new morph target. Now I can turn that back on, and then I'm ready to go. So like I may have just some little stuff kind of coming through this area. Things may get kind of bendy up there. When you find useful noisemaker with the alpha or just manually? I think I'm missing what you're saying, Blaine. Okay, so I think that's fairly good. Maybe we'll actually add some more specific ones through here. I feel like, we may see some scrunching in there. If not, it's totally fine. We can morph all that out. Right, so then I've got my kind of base here. Probably want some actually through here. Alright, so this is just kind of my base noise. And then we may want maybe one kind of coming through this way. That'd be kind of cool. Again, this is like super overkill, but I'm going to go in and morph out the stuff that I don't want. So these will give me, I try to give myself plenty of ample opportunity for happy accidents, right? So this is just kind of me setting up myself for happy accident success. Trying to find something simple for my cartoons and 3D prints. Just might be going overboard here. Yeah, this is a little bit more realistic, not necessarily cartoon. If you're looking for somebody on this channel that does a little bit more stylized work, Shane Olson does some really awesome stylized work on here, and Robert Vinone does a lot of 3D print prep work. He does a little bit more realistic stuff, but between those two you may be able to get what you're looking for. Okay, 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 okay. So I'm going to go back to my morph brush. Let's turn off that. I'm going to throw my intensity back down. So now what I want to do is I want to save this pattern so I can kind of get back to it. So I'm going to put all my morph out onto another layer. Let's do this. Call this morph out. Oh my god. Morph out. Yeah, what's up, Pixel? How you doing, man? Hahaha, Spreckensy Devil. There's Shane. What's up, Shane? How you doing, buddy? We were just talking about you. Don't worry, it was all good. Alright, so I'm just going to start pulling some of this out. Yeah, DeJuice was actually just talking about stylized and print-ready style stuffs. Alright, so I'm just going to pull this out. I don't really need all of this. Alright, specifically... He's coming along, man. Give me a second, I will pull back and show the full dudes. How you doing, though, Shane? What's up? If you guys don't know Shane Olson, he's a really, really awesome stylized character, the man, who also streams here on Pixelogic. Highly, highly suggest giving him a follow. Really, really awesome work. Used to do some work for Disney Infinity back in the day when they were a thing. Yeah, man. Gotta spread the love, right? Alright, so just kind of pull this stuff back. I'm going to go turn on backface mask real quick. Turn off colorize. And then I'm just going to pull this stuff back. I really don't want all that in there. So we'll do that. And again, this is all on a layer, so I can use that. Yes, sir! I got invited to the sculpt off. But shh, don't tell anybody yet, because they haven't announced it. Shit. Yeah, the announcement should be coming soon. Soon. But yeah, excited, dude. Excited and nervous. Yeah, I kind of just did, huh? Sorry. Well, don't tell Paul, okay? Shit, this is being recorded, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be interesting for sure. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sculpt out some parts here. And then I'll go back and morph out more of this. Okay, so let's do a new layer. We'll call this sculpt. Got it. Alright, and then, so what I'm going to do is, actually, so here was where I think I used, I don't know if I used Mach Cut or, we'll use them both though. I don't know if I used Mach Cut or Orb Crack. So we're just going to grab them both. Grab Mach Cut and Orb Crack. Yo, what's up, Ashen and Bacon? How you guys doing? I think it was Orb Crack that I used. Alright, so now basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and just kind of like pull out some of these major details. what the? What the hell, Bobby? Okay, let's see if I can fix this with morph targets. So we'll turn the sculpt off. Morph out. Okay, so then now I can set this as a morph target. Turn morph out back on. Go back to my morph brush. And then just pull that back. Morph is awesome. Okay, now I can go back to my sculpt. And then we're good. So yeah, it was orb crack is what we were using. That you completing your piece in ZBrush Summit, is that right? That's the rumor. That's the official rumor right now. The cat is kind of out of the bag, so yes, I did get invited, and I did accept. It's going to be awesome and crazy. Thanks, man. So, yeah, we'll definitely celebrate more after they do like the official announcement. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to say anything, but they didn't tell me, so. Yeah, man, I'm excited for you to do a workshop, dude. You're let's see if I can turn my light a little bit. Anybody who's any of you guys that are thinking about going to the ZBrush Summit, Shane is going to be doing one of the workshops there. Freaking awesome. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, guys. What Shane, what kind of what's your actual workshop? I know it's going to be like character based and similar to the workshop that you had actually just released. Can you give us any more details? The public wants to know. So while we're waiting for that awesome response, so the reason why I put down that alpha for Happy Accidents is exactly this reason right here, right? It's given me something to kind of like start from, and the characteristics of how this type of leather like cracks and moves. You know what I mean? So now I can really go in and just start pulling out some of those pieces, right? The more characterized wear points. Wear points. Is it like werewolves? Too far away. Yeah. It's worth a trip though, man. If you're not coming across, half the world, it's definitely worth a trip. I go to the ZBrush Summit specific, like, I look forward to it every year. And it's the one that I always will go to. There's just so many awesome people. It's a great event. Just being in a small space with the ZBrush community people is just a freaking awesome experience. I think I'm going to focus on how to make stuff clean and polished. Yes. Not like mine. Mine tend to be like all nice and dirty and kind of crazy. Oh, right. I was going to show you guys, if you guys are just kind of coming by, which a lot of you have, this is the dude that I'm working on. This is the dude. Not the actual dude, but this is a full guy that I'm working on. He's a concept for Horizon Zero Dawn from Adrian Wilkins. So, so right now I'm starting to block in all of the tertiary details. That's what I'm working on. Thanks, Shane. Appreciate it, man. Yes, this is officially from as you know, all now's actually a good time to grab this guy again. So um, I would highly suggest checking out Adrian Wilkins. He's got actually, you know what? What I'll do, guys, if you guys want to look at it, here's the link. I would suggest taking a look at some of his other stuff too. He's got some really awesome work. But yeah, so this was the art director improved and everything concept design. So I figured what better way to practice AAA pipeline than to work from the actual concepts that were given to the modelers in game. Yeah. Excuse me. Grab some water. He's coming along. He's coming along. Yeah. Okay, so there's definitely going to be more stress areas in this area, so we want to make sure that a lot of this, a lot of crinkle area in here. Hello, Mr. Crinkle. How are you today? You guys remember that Primus song? Yeah, that was a really cool presentation. How's Matt been? I haven't actually, you know what? I haven't caught his stream in a while. I'm not sure if he's actually has done much lately. Matt Thorpe has also has been doing some streams on the Pixelogic site here. I haven't seen him in a while. I guess that's what happens when you're a badass artist. You just kind of like get all this work and you can't really like do public stuff anymore because you started again in August. Oh, okay, cool, excellent. It's good to hear. Damn it! Now I got that Primus song stuck in my head. Hello, Mr. Crinkle. How are you today? Alright, so there's kind of like blocking in some of this, doing some of this. I feel like these are a little bit too close, so I really want to make sure that yeah, it's already stuck in my head, man. I'm screwed. I want to make sure that the details kind of like get spread out enough, right? So this feels good over here. These three right here don't really feel that good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to morph that back out. That morph target was still... So I can just come back with my morph brush and just erase that real quick. Awesome. Yes. And then we'll go back to my orb crack real quick. Oh, I miss my Harley, dude. I miss my Harley. I still have it. So I've been in San Diego, working at Sony for the last 3 months. and my bike is still up in San Jose, so I miss Betty. Is what I've. Did I tell you guys that I finally gave her a name? I think it's really, really important to give your vehicles names. No, no, I didn't sell it. No, no. No, this is a gauntlet. So I'm working on throwing in some leather details to this gauntlet. Precious. Oh, DJ, do you ride too? What do you ride? It's a 2016 Dyna Street Bob. Oh, there's lots of good details in through here. Look at all this juicy, juicy details. It's important to have your lighting just right, so you can really catch a lot of these details. It's another reason why I keep that lighting sphere out on my UI. It becomes really, really helpful. Wide glide. And now restful? Nice, man. Yeah, it's quite an investment. They're definitely not cheap. So I don't own a house right now. I just own a vehicle. So if I ever am truly screwed, that's where a lot of my personal wealth lies. Yeah. There's definitely seasons for riding. Yeah, it is nice. Like, when you're doing the grind, and a lot of us are, doing the art grind and getting good. It definitely takes a toll. And I think that it's very important, health-wise, to be able to get out and kind of remember that there's a life out there and there's a whole world out there. I like this little piece right here. Actually, you know what? I don't like that. It's too similar. So some of the things that I try to keep an eye out for is like spacing. So you want to do like the layered cake effect, I guess you can say, is where you have different size shapes, right? So you have a big shape, a medium shape, and a small shape, right? So when you start paying attention to that, you really kind of recognize when things start to feel awkward, right? Is when it really pulls out of what is this life you're talking about? Now I just build toys. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, I always want to try to keep aware of when things feel awkward, and it's usually because you're breaking one of the artistic principles, right? Like your art core principles. And in this case right now, it's the so quote unquote layered cake effect, right? So you want to have big details, and then like medium details, and then like super small details, or you want to have, you know, the space between this and this, and then the space between this and this, and then the space between this, right? So like this is big, this is medium, this is small. When you start spacing things out like that, they feel more natural. When they start getting away from that, which is what's happening here, right? So like this space, and this space all feel about the same. That's why when I was starting to put this one in, I'm like, it doesn't even feel right. Even this one doesn't, or this one doesn't feel right, because there's relatively similar spacing between this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, and this one, right? So it's those types of things that I really try to keep an eye on. And like your eye will kind of naturally already do that. It's whether you recognize is that happening or why it's happening, right? So when I get to that point, I'm like, okay, I need to, let's go back to my morph. Right, let's pull this guy back out. And then we'll go back to my orb crack. Right, so like, let's say maybe I'll put this one like this, right? So maybe this is small, this is medium, and then we'll do one down here, right? And now this is large, right? So that already feels way better and way more natural, right? Doesn't feel doesn't have that awkwardness anymore. Chaos and variety, absolutely. You know, and Shane, you can back me up on this one too. Like that doesn't just necessarily go for, you know, stylized characters and like, you know, those types of things. It goes pretty much with anything, right? Like whether it's like small little details, or if you're looking at like, you know, the big pieces, right? You want to have small, medium, and large details, right? You don't want to have all big pieces, right? You don't want to have like all medium pieces, you know? You want to be able to like have like this piece right here stands out, and that's a really big piece, right? This is like a medium piece, right? And these are small pieces, those types of things, you know? So it goes for everything from macro all the way down to micro details. You just want to make sure that you're kind of paying attention to those things. They start to feel much more organic. Excuse me. Sure, Blindness. Just if you got a question, just throw it up there, and I'll take a look at it after the stream. Okay. So I feel like that's getting some goodness. I think maybe we can use a little bit more through here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get some more of this. Yes, exactly. The same thing. So like it's not just like, oh, detail here, detail here, detail here. The other thing is, you know, taking that same idea and saying, well, yes, I have a massive amounts of details, and then I have, you know, some areas where there's not so much details, you know, like spacing it out, not just in shapes, but in areas of detail and that kind of stuff too. I think it's super, super important, right? Areas of rest, super, super important. We call that frequency of detail. think we're getting close to the next step on this. Alright, and I think this will have... Everybody solo! Yep. So the next part is the really fun part here. It's where we start really just popping out some of those details in here. I think we're pretty much ready. I feel pretty good about where that's at. Okay. Yeah, and breaking symmetry is really, really important as well too. Oops. Hey, what's up, French guy? How you doing, man? Welcome, buddy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Oh, so soon, Shane. All right, buddy. Well, thanks for dropping by, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Have a good one, man. Till next time. Same Shane time. Same Shane channel. Alright. So the next one we're going to do is... let's say... Let's just do pop out. So, what really, this next part really kind of makes things pop even more, which is the inflate brush. So now what I'm going to do is where these parts are really getting scrunched together, I'm just going to go through and just pull those out a little bit, right? Maybe we'll use the inflate to scrunch together some of these creases. At the same time, pull out some of these areas where it's actually going to, right, we look here, it's actually going to make that surface not even anymore, right? Uni, what's up? How you doing? Welcome to the leather detail madness. It's a madness. Hey, congratulations on finishing your ghillie project. Came out awesome. Love the feeling when you actually finish a project and you actually step away from it and go, okay, that madness is done. Yeah, actually, you know what? If you want to throw up a link in chat, please feel free. If you guys follow Unicorn Dev, she does some really awesome work. Also, another ZBrush streamer. She just finished up a character she has been working on for a little while. Stylized character, really cool. Really cool. Link it up, man. But yeah, she's been streaming for a while as well. Really got an awesome community over there on her Twitch channel. Give her a follow, I definitely suggest. Actually curious on what you're going to work on next. Have you started another project or have one in mind? Alright, so now we start popping out all of these. Right, so like as we turn this, right, so look at how like all that just pops really, really nice now. So good. So good. So good. So good. And you can even do it, you know, maybe not necessarily on these places where I've really picked out those. You just throw them in to some of these as well, you know. Oh, damn details. Yep. So this is pretty much exactly how I went and did all of this work here on the main piece. Right, so now you can see exactly how I went and did all of that. Right, it's the exact same thing. So did all of this, threw down that alpha, morphed out to places that I didn't want, went in and sculpted the areas that were like more movement characterized. And then went through, so sculpted those areas and then just used the inflate brush to really make those details pop. Love me some leather. That's good. Alright, so now we got that happening. So really want to make sure that I got some really good stuff going on here. So let's make sure these areas, like this one right here, and like this, all this right in here will be super important, because that's going to be one of the main first reads. So let's make sure that we do some dope stuff in here. Details. And when I was going through and kind of exploring how I was going to do this process, I tried to keep like the process that I want to do down to, you know, within 4 steps, right? I don't want it to be like this super, super drawn out thing. So specifically in this one, you know, within a reasonable amount, right? So smooth down the surfaces, use slash to really pull out those details. Used an alpha to drop down some happy accident places. Sculpted out the main areas, and then use the inflate to really punch those out. Right? I don't really want to do anything more than that. If it takes me like 6 or 7 major steps, I think it's too much. Technically for me, specifically for me. I mean, you guys can do your own thing, but I try to mostly because I'm going to be repeating this across all of the leather areas. So I don't want to like have this like, you know, 15-step process where I'm just going to forget, and then I have to kind of like remake up the process, and then things just look different, you know? I try to keep it relatively simple so that I can reproduce it and things look cohesive. Alright, punch out some of these details. Again, not too good, not going overboard too much, but just enough. Here's where like the really fine balance comes in, where you really got to make sure that you're kind of stepping away and looking at it, right? Yeah, that's feeling good. Peter. That's all good, man. All good. All good. No worries. I feel like I want a little bit more coming through here. This is a little bit too bland, especially for this high scrunch area. So I'm going to go back to my sculpt layer. And then let's go back to my orb crack. And I really want to put a couple of more details through here. So I'm going to start pulling out some of this. You know what? We have not saved this in a while, and I feel like it's getting a little weird on me. So I'm going to save it first. And it's a damn big file. 44 million points at 71 subtools, so it'll take a minute to save. So bear with me. Oh! Man, time flies. Holy moly. Yeah, it's them high res details. I turn autosave like no, it's 2.2 for this particular one. It's 44 million total. This one is 2.2. And I'll get much higher, probably by the time I'm done with this guy, he'll probably be closer to 100 million polys. Or points. So I definitely want to have a little bit more kind of coming through this area. Yeah, right, Jacob? Like, you can really, really quickly get into the super, super high-res stuff. Especially when you're doing, like, big level detail. Like, small little level detail? I don't know. Big, small, I don't know. Whichever one you prefer. Whichever vernacular you prefer. Pardon me. What's up, clickety click? PC specs. I'm running an i7 6700K for the processor, 1070 GTX GeForce 1070, 16 gigs of RAM. I think that's about it. 800 watt power cell. The power. I feel like I could probably use a little bit more RAM. No, this one is still orb crack brush. Yeah, that's probably enough. I don't want to get super, super crazy, so I'm going to go back to my pop out. Yo, Polygon Artist, how you doing, man? What's up, buddy? Alright, I'll go back to my inflate. And then we can do the happy time. Yay, inflate. Inflate, you're my friend. What's up, dude? Let's hang out and have some beers. How you doing, buddy? This is what happens when you're kind of put on the spot early in the morning with no coffee. Yeah. Yeah, that's feeling awesome. That's feeling awesome. Who needs coffee? Channeling my inner Paul Gabry. Yeah. That's starting to feel like really worn and crunchy, right? You can tell like, oh, this dude has like bent his wrist a lot. I'll run out. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do these parts in here. So I'll go back and sculpt those in there. This stuff probably here probably doesn't have too much of this kind of buckling out. So I won't go too crazy. It's probably a fairly high use area, but not as high as like this area, I would say. I'll just do a couple little pieces here and there. These metal rings, yeah, I just use ZModeler for these guys. You can take a look at the polys. Just really easy. Just use a cylinder, and then just Q-mesh those parts out, and then just Q-mesh this part out, and then did a couple holes. Super, super easy. My outer coffee pot to my inner. Well put, sir. Well put. Well put. Yeah. That's good. Okay, so I think we can do a couple more major kind of spots from here. So let's go back to sculpt real quick. Can I use on both platforms via one account? What? I think I missed what you were saying. DC. Yeah, I don't. There's been times when if my wife and I have discussed diets and stuff. She's like, "Oh, you should give up coffee." I'm like, "Nope, can't do it. Can't give up the coffee. Sorry. Whatever diet I may consider, it has to include coffee." There's just no way. There's no way. All right, so let's go back to my orb crack. All right, and let's pull out some of these couple of pieces. So I turned my auto quick save way down. I think it's like every 45 minutes. When you start getting up in these areas of much higher poly counts, it takes a long time to do that save. So you gave up coffee? Did you give up caffeine or did you give up coffee? Because those two are still pretty different. Oh, so I wanted to use it on both Mac and PC, which I mean, I still have to download it twice. I think with, at least with my license, and I think this works the same with everybody, is that I think you can put it on 2 different machines. The idea is that you have home PC and a laptop. So I can have this. I can have my single license on 2 machines. So I would think that, yes, you could put it on both. Coffee, tea, water exclusively. No additives, though. Yes. So again, I'm feeling like this is a little bit too even, so I'm going to go back to my morph target and probably pull this one back out. And this one. Maybe this. Let's pull that back out. Okay, and then we'll go back to my orb crack here. So you can see why these, like, high-res, super high-res characters take a long time to create. There's a lot of friggin' details, man. All the details. Maybe we'll, like, spread this outwards, kind of this way. So maybe we'll have one coming through here. Okay, I want to make sure that I'm kind of in line with these pieces. Oh, good, awesome, Darkin. Cool. Super new question: when a character is not showing their body, is it worth it to sculpt the body still? I think it really depends on what you're going to end up doing. You know, is it going to be rigged at all? Like, there's definitely. I mean, for this guy, the way that I sculpted him, it was much easier to have the body. Because that's what I started my model on, right? Specifically for like these pants. No. Not sure. Anybody else getting an echo? Echo. I'm not watching the stream. I made that mistake at the very beginning, in which I corrected within the first 5 seconds. Yes, Pixel. Bacon. I think it really depends on your project. Sometimes I would say no, you don't need the legs. Bacon, you've been around for a while. You remember the sci-fi guy that I was working on with the big shoulder pads and everything? His legs weren't fully done. So it kind of really depends. It's hard to say one way or the other without kind of consulting the actual project. It's your fault, Darkin. It's your fault. All right, so I'm gonna go back to pop out, and then let's go back to inflate, and then we'll just kind of pull some of these pieces out. Make it pop. Make it rain. Yes. Yes. Doing game ready challenge for our station soldiers 20. Yeah, I'd say it's good to do for block out, especially if you're going to be hanging clothes off of the body. I think it's good to at least have the base. It's all about the base. The base. I think it's a good way to start. You can start from a scan or something. To start from one of ZBrush's base shapes. Anything to kind of get you there quicker is good. There you go, Uni. That's what everybody was thinking right there. That knew the song. My my wife's mother was on that trip for a while. She would just sing it all the time. Like, oh. Oh. Alright, so I feel like this is probably at a good point. I don't want to do too much where we get a lot of overkill, so let's move on to I feel like maybe we could use a little bit more in here. And I don't necessarily have to sculpt out a lot of these pieces. I can use just whatever's down there to kind of pull out. And also help kind of blend this all together. If I'm not just using the sculpted areas, I can actually come in and use some of these areas where it was just the alpha. It'll help kind of blend all of that together a little bit better. Bacon, which concept are you going to be working from? I feel like maybe I can use just a touch more of sculpt in there. Too early to spell. Yeah, I hear that, man. So let's go grab our crack again real quick, and then let's just throw a couple more down here. I feel like it's a little bit too empty down here. Throw a link up, dude. Or it doesn't exist. No link doesn't exist. So Uni, have you have an idea of the next projects that you're gonna work on? I like you refer to her as your wife's mother rather than your mother-in-law. No, I just try to mix things up a little every once in a while. I feel like mother-in-law has a bad connotation to it. She's a really awesome lady, so. It was actually more of the other way, where I was trying not to associate her with the mother-in-law, the in-laws association, you know? There we go. That feels a little bit better. Maybe we'll kind of feel like this one is the same length as this one is the same length as this one. So maybe what we'll do is we'll take this one, kind of bring that one longer, right? It doesn't feel as awkward now. So we've got medium, a medium, and a long, right? So maybe we'll make this one a little bit longer here. Cool. That should feel better. Okay, so let's go back to pop out. Alright, let's see bacon. This guy. Oh, yeah. That'll be fun, dude. That'll be fun. Good luck, man. You're gonna need it. Nah, just kidding. You'll do fine, dude. Alright, so bust these guys out a little bit. Not focal shift. Let's take draw size down. Cute. Yeah, right, dying? Is there a way you can play YouTube videos faster? I don't think so, right? Because these replays do end up on Pixelogic's YouTube page, so you guys can go back and rewatch these if you want. Yo, Machuffin, what's up, buddy? It has been a long time. How you doing, man? How you doing? Oh, perfect, Darkin. Yeah. So yeah, you can go back and do that to any of these that are on the YouTube. On the YouTube. Well, there you go, Diane. Okay. I feel like that's pretty leathery. Got an art test out the door and got contacted by out of the blue by another company very nearby. That's awesome, dude. Congratulations, man. Love it. I'm doing awesome, man. I'm working at Sony Studio in San Diego at the moment. We specialize in scan data. Do work for a lot of the other Sony studios worldwide. So yeah, it's been awesome. We've been getting a lot of experience doing scan work. Learning tons and tons and tons. Working on some really, really cool big projects. Yeah, man. Can't complain. Alright, so this isn't as highly like bended, like it doesn't have as much bend history, I guess you could say, as this area, so I want to make sure that I don't kind of go overboard with that. There's also slow speed option. Nice. Photo Geo? Is that like, what's Photo Geo? Because I want to pull a little bit of this pop out back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn that off. I'm going to store a new morph target. And then I'm going to go back with my morph brush and pull some of these back out. So we'll go back to pop out. Oh, photogrammetry. Got it. It's early, dude. Sorry. So I'm going to pull some of these back a little bit. I don't necessarily want all of that happening. That's better. Nothing too crazy here. Maybe just a touch. Yeah. Feels good. Feels good, man. Okay, so then let's go back to sculpt. Yeah, it's a pain in the ass. I get you, man. I get you. And now you had to do a ton more because I was like, what the hell is that, bro? Alright, so let's go back to my orb crack. And then we'll start pulling out just a little bit more of this. Nothing too crazy through here. Actually, you know what? I think that's going to be enough through here. Maybe we'll just touch a couple of these places just to give it a little bit of variation on the depth. And then a couple more little highlights, right? Nothing too crazy through here. And again, this is the kind of detail that I feel like is easier to get this detail in ZBrush than it would be doing it in the actual material in Substance Painter. I feel like I have more control here. And the other thing too is that when you're kind of relying more on the actual material to do kind of like the final details, it's unfortunate because it really takes away from the presentation of your high res. So if I was doing this for actual production, I may not do most of this extra detail. But since this is going to be a presentation model for my portfolio, you know, I really want to make sure that both stages, the high-res sculpt stage and the final in-game, really have a nice presentation. So another part of why I'm doing some of this detail through here is because I want, when I do show the high-res model, the high-res sculpt, I really want it to stand out, and I really want it to pop. So there's all kinds of different reasons to do different methods. In this particular one, I really want to make sure that the high-res looks awesome. It's all about targeting your audience, right? And if I want an art director to look at my work and go, you know, holy freaking crap, dude, look at those details. Wow. You know, instead of it just relying on the actual material. Still want it to look good in all presentations. You know what I mean? I know it's selfish of me. Sorry. Start a new project for a full portfolio piece. The theme is the First War. France, nice. Nice, man. That sounds like a fairly large project there. Character, a weapon, and a vehicle. Damn, bro. Again, probably nothing too crazy through here. Maybe we'll get a couple that kind of branch out from this stretchy part where the stitch is. It says or. I got it. Sorry, I was doing the quick read. I skipped over the or part. That's kind of important in that sentence. Or, dude, or. Oh, got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, cool. McAngris, what's up, man? How you doing, buddy? Buddy pal, what's up? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the leather madness. The leather sculpting madness. Actually, give me a second, guys, and I'll zoom out again and let you guys get a look at the full character. Anybody who's kind of dropped by in the last 20 minutes or so. Just want to kind of get a couple more of these details coming out. Okay. So here's here's the full character that I'm working on. It's concept from Adrian Wilkins. He did it for Horizon Zero Dawn. So yeah, this is the dude. He's getting close, man. He's getting close. Yep, that's the dude. Okay, so we'll do a couple more through here, right? As these pieces kind of like move around, they'll probably scrunch this up a bit. Yo, Emmett, what's up? Them knowledge bombs. How you doing? I haven't seen you for a while, Emma. How are you? You forgot the Lord Humph in there, though.
I can't believe it. What?
Yeah, I haven't seen you around in a while. Hear that whole busy at work thing. There you go. There's Lord Humph.
I just can't believe it.
How's the work thing going? Alright, again, not too much through here. Just enough to kind of give the history. Maybe we'll do a couple through here. Doc McStuffins. Today we are doing leather. Okay, so we'll have kind of some pieces that come through here. Again, nothing too crazy. Don't want to get too carried away. Okay, maybe we'll have a couple come through here. So maybe we'll do this guy. Okay. So that'd be okay. So we get a little bit of compression history through here. Maybe we'll do just a little bit, like one or two through here. Nothing too crazy. Okay, cool. So then let's go to pop out real quick. We'll just grab those areas. Oops. Let's grab the inflate brush, and then we'll just start pulling out a couple of these little areas. Like so. I'll just grab some of these coming through here. Okay, there we go. Yo, Asgard, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you around in a while either. How you been? Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. Love doing leather details. So fun. So fun. Okay. Hey yo, 8 o'clock. Wow, 8 o'clock already? Wow, that went fast. What's up, Hoku? How you doing? Alright, so I gave up my secrets. That's how I did the leather. I fully expect to see some more leather details posted on Facebook here soon. No, it's all good. I fully support sharing of knowledge. Anything that help make more cool stuff faster and easier. That's what technology is all about, right? Sharing. Sharing is caring. Look at that. I feel like we have achieved leather. What do you guys think? Think we got leather? Yes, 8 a.m. Yep. I'm in California. Right, Hoku? Yep. Yeah, doing this stuff in like sculpt, you know? Like, dude, it's a whole other process, man. Yeah, I feel like we have achieved leather. Show the whole character. Yes, absolutely. Take a look at the whole character here. So here he be. This is a concept from Adrian Wilkins that he did for Horizon Zero Dawn. We'll actually show. Let's do this real quick. There he be. Yeah, I get up at like 5:30 a.m. Start streaming at 6 a.m. Go to 8, and then go to work for 8 hours after that. I may do overtime today, so maybe 12 hours at the office today. Yeah. So I feel like dude is someone should cosplay like TwitchCon. That would be super cool. So I feel like he's coming along nicely. We definitely have a lot more to do for the sculpt. You know, haven't even really touched his face at all. Obviously, got to do his head, all the belts and all that fun stuff. So usually what I do is I'll come up with the process for some of the major pieces. So like right now I'm just doing all the leather pieces. So once I've done and like really kind of nailed down my process for that, I'll go through and do all the leather pieces. That way I don't kind of like forget my own process. So we've done the main piece, front and back. We've done these pieces here. This one is I wouldn't say done yet, but it's getting close. Just did this piece today. The next major pieces that we'll do are the side pieces here, and then the boots, and then that will be pretty much it for the leather. Yeah. This is going to be different leather up here. So then from there we'll probably go and do the pants. Just do kind of like micro details and stuff on the pants. And then we'll go and do like the accoutrements. We'll do finish doing all the details on the pouches. I still have to put the leather belt that goes around the canteen, and then we'll do the head stuff, and then that will be pretty much it for this dude. So yeah, today we did leather. I feel pretty good about this. I'm probably going to go back to morph out and probably pull out some more of those details, the leftover stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's do that really quick before we're done. So let's turn off pop out, and we'll turn off sculpt. Let's go back to morph out, and then actually, you know what? Let's actually make a new layer. We'll call it morph out 2, so I can always get back to what I'm at now. So we'll do morph out 2. I don't know if I'm going to do the hammer or not yet. I may not. I don't know. So let's turn, not morph out. Let's turn pattern off. Actually, let's turn morph out off. So let's set this as the morph target. Let's turn these guys back on. And then we'll go to morph out 2, turn that on. And then what I really want to do is just start pulling out some of these details that I don't need. Let's take it way, way down now. So we can just start pulling some of these details out, because I really just want those details in the areas where there's going to be kind of the characterized stuff, because I'm going to use the material in Substance Painter to fill in the rest. So I really just want these like more highly specific areas. And because this is on a layer, I can always pull it back, so I'm not too worried about it. Yo, Ashley, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? So we'll throw kind of this stuff back. Probably don't need this much in here. Just a little bit in there. Yo, what's up, Jose? Yes. That's what I'm heading for, is crazy amounts of awesome detail. Alright, so I don't just pull some of this stuff back. It's all about subtlety, right? I don't want to do things so crazy over the top that everything is just kind of too much, you know? So I want to be able to kind of pull some of this stuff back and exercise some restraint and leave some room for Substance Painter, right? For what the final material is going to add to it. So it's really just about doing the I guess, content-specific areas. Whatever the hell you want to call it. I still haven't come up with a good term for it. Alright? Movement-specific areas, I guess? I don't know. Yep, actually just about to finish up the stream. So the nice thing is too, like if I feel like that's too much, I can always just turn the amount of that morph down. So there's still a little bit there. Yeah. Alright, I feel like that's good for today. Let's save. Yeah, that's good. So let's save this bad boy. Yo! Oh! So, I will be continuing the high-res, finishing up the high-res sculpt. Or at least working on it some more on my personal streams when I when I have the chance to. It's usually at nighttime, my time. So, yeah, I don't get a chance to do many early morning stuff anymore. So, for the time being. But yeah, so if you are interested, want to follow along a little bit more, give me a follow on my personal channel. Links right down at the bottom of the page. Take a look and follow everybody else that streams on ZBrush. They do some awesome stuff, including Ashley, aka A Cubed. She does some really, really awesome stuff. Yeah, and I think that's gonna be it, ladies and gents. Thanks. Oh, the last thing I wanted to ask was, I tried to do something. How did you guys fit it? Was it ever awkward without music? I'm kind of always a little bit. I don't want to play dumb music, like music I don't really enjoy. And because we're putting this on like YouTube and stuff, and it's going to be replayed, got to be really careful about like music rights and that kind of stuff. So without music, was it ever like super awkward that there was no music, or did it just seem to flow okay? Did anybody even really notice? Okay with no music. Without music. What's up, Quintessential? How you doing, man? I wish I could play Led Zeppelin. It'd be freaking awesome. Not awkward. Worked. Okay, cool. Good. All right. Yeah, yeah. That's the other thing too. Is a lot of people are like working or they're playing their own music, and they're just kind of like, this is, you know, ancillary to whatever you guys are doing. Aw, Sinelder. Aw. Yeah, we can do royalty free music. I just feel like I don't like it. So it's like a little bit, I don't know. I feel like it'll throw me off. So I try to do it without music. So I don't know, just trying to get a gauge on how people feel a little bit. Emma, it was awesome seeing you. Hope things are going well. I hope to see you again soon. We miss you. All right, I think that's about it. I think that's it, guys and gals. Do we have the schedule? Anybody know who's coming up next? I think is it Tim? Who may be coming up next? I don't know. I always forget to check the schedule. Anyways, there's more streams. Check them out. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. But most of all, I hope you were inspired to go make your own cool stuff. So do it. Do it! Go make some cool stuff with ZBrush. It's awesome. All right, guys. Take it easy.